we got stand by. 3, 2, 1.
The thinking atheist. It's not a person. It's a symbol. An idea.
The population of atheists in this country is going through the roof.
Rejecting faith. Pursuing knowledge. Challenging the sacred.
If I tell the truth, it's because I tell the truth. Not because I put my hand on a book and made a wish.
And working together for a more rational world.
Take the risk of thinking for yourself. Much more happiness, truth, beauty, and wisdom will come to you that way.
Assume nothing. Question everything. And start thinking. This is the Thinking Atheist Podcast. Hosted by Seth Andrews.
Just a quick interjection into your week. I want to introduce you to Larry. Larry is the skeleton that's sitting in my yard right now. Obviously, you know me, right? With ghost stories coming up this month, and I'm always posting about Halloween. Did you see? There was somebody on Facebook. In fact, let me just pull it up very quickly here. From a religious page called, there it is, God's Glory. It said, if you celebrate Halloween in any way, shape, or form, you are celebrating evil and darkness, and you know it. And I responded, cool. What? Okay, bring on the evil and darkness. Like, I'm not worried about that. As somebody who came out of the satanic panic and is watching everybody lose their minds over the month of October, I think it's amazing. It's just amazing. So I decorate every single year. This year I decorated really on the cheap, recycling a bunch of old stuff, but it really sort of panned out. I had the idea that I wanted a skeleton in an electric chair. Like an old prison electric chair, right? He's on death row, and I'm vehemently anti-capital punishment, but I'm also vehemently anti-slashing teenagers with a machete. So I don't think these are commentaries on society. But a buddy of mine, I told him my idea. He's got skills in carpentry. He's just a craftsman, and he found an old wooden pallet behind a department store. It was in a dumpster. It's kind of sticking out the top of a dumpster. Obviously, it wouldn't hold any more weight. They were tossing it out, but the wood was amazing. It looked like 100 years old. It had been weathered, and he just grabbed the pallet and he threw it in the back of his pickup truck, and he drove it home. And just because he wanted to, he built me an electric chair. And it looks fantastic. You can see those photographs on my social media page on Facebook and Twitter, which is not X, it's still Twitter. But so I just put the chair in my yard, and then I stuck one of my skeletons in it, and I spray painted him with kind of a chalk-looking spray to catch the light, and then a few 2x4s to look like bars. And the rest was just recycled stuff. There's a Reaper with his hand on the switch. The Reaper's been in my attic for years. I've got skeletons. They're all pointing that direction toward the chair. I had those stored in the attic. Actually, the way they were stored is if detectives had ever had to come to my house and they searched my attic, it would look like I had bodies in the attic. That's how they were stored. But I pull those out. And then the lights and fog I already had from years and years ago. So everything's pretty much recycled, but it looks amazing. And it's also, they're posed so it's not going to freak out the very young children who are walking with their parents at dusk. They're out, sort of getting some exercise in the neighborhood. My intent was to create smiles, not trauma. And the skeleton in the chair, I just thought he looked like a Larry. He looks like a Larry to me. So now when I talk about him, I'm always talking about Larry. So I'm in the Halloween spirit. Anyway, my larger point is this. I mentioned that I built this year's display on the cheap. That's out of necessity. I'll be totally honest, and I hesitated to bring this up, but I kind of need to. COVID-19 just kicked everybody's ass. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the podcast verse has really taken a hit, including this show. I've been a full-time activist since 2015. The show's been on the air since 2010. Yeah, 13 years. But with COVID, I lost like 40% of my patrons, the advertisers that I'm so thankful for. But these Spreaker advertisers, they're now paying a fraction of what they used to pay. And and this channel is kind of in need of a reset at this moment, which would, I think, get me back on track for the rest of fall, winter, and into 2024. So I have an ask, and Larry joins me. Larry and I would like to ask for just a quick shot in the arm for this channel. If you would help me reset. And for that, I have a couple of links in the description box. The big one, the one that would be the most help, is just a straight donation of a few bucks via PayPal, or become a patron, and you can set the parameters for that. And again, with everybody struggling, I just hate to do that. I know a lot of other content creators have been making the same pitch, and with 4 million global podcasts, plus all the weight that you're already carrying, I'm not trying to add to your burden. But being someone who is trying to do this full time and make videos and podcasts and do speeches and write books and try to do all of those things against the tide of religious insanity in the world, you genuinely are a big part of helping me to do that. And so if you'd partner with me with a small donation, it would allow Natalie and me the opportunity to keep kicking and to do what we do, to do what I do for the rest of this year and into 2014. And I think after a quick shot in the arm, we should be good. The links to donate in the description box. Our full-time broadcast, the main show, will release next week. I'm talking to author Katie Cohen about the need for atheists to just come out and say they are atheists. I've got ghost stories later on in the month and so much more to come. Thank you, my family, and I will see you back here next time.
Follow The Thinking Atheist on Facebook and Twitter for a complete archive of podcasts and videos, products like mugs and t-shirts featuring the Thinking Atheist logo, links to atheist pages and resources, and details on upcoming free thought events and conventions. Log on to our website, thethinkingatheist.com.